What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing today? I wanted to do a quick video for you because I got 3, 4, 5 emails all talking about the same thing, as if you have not heard enough about the coronavirus in the last week or so. I just wanted to touch on how it's going to relate to real estate and how it's going to relate to you. But before we get into that, let me start off by saying I have no clue. This is just my opinions. So I'm just going to give you my opinions on a couple things. So a couple things. First off, I found out that were pretty interesting is as much as we have been proven over the last 3, 4 years how much the media is lying to us on so many different things, it's still interesting about how now we still end up having to listen to them because we don't have a choice. So we don't know what's true, what's not true. Nobody does. We're just, we basically, you either put your head in the sand or you listen. And so, we end up listening. I tell people always, and I'm not a big fan of the news. The more news you watch, the more unhappy you become, the more miserable you become, because there is no good news on TV. But it's interesting about the panic that it has caused. And based on, not a whole lot of real facts. But again, so in the beginning, I was kind of like, I ignored it. Because, there's always something they're pitching. I think the first second that I started to think, oh, maybe there is something, is when the NBA canceled or postponed the whole rest of the season. And then I think that was just yesterday. And then everybody followed suit. Even our local sports, the Admirals are out, the Tides are out, everybody, everything, all the sports, everybody's done. Well, that's kind of, that's got to make you think, because they're losing billions of dollars. And but again, they're falling into the same stuff that we are. How you doing, Robin? They're falling into the same stuff that we are. They all have the same information. And then yesterday I watched the stock market plummeting yesterday morning. I sat home in the morning and I was watching the stock market plummeting, which I know you're not supposed to do, but I was flipping channels. And what did that remind me of? Like vividly, exactly the same feeling that I had in 2007, 2008, watching the stock market plunge. And I remember in 2008, I was actually in Texas as Lehman Brothers was going out of business. And I remember I can see their building from the hotel I was staying in. And it was like way too real as everything was collapsing and plummeting. Although this seems to be based on nothing, there's no, I don't know. So anyway, again, it's just my fact. I don't have a whole lot of what is actually real and what's not real. Nobody really does. We're all going to find out in the end. If it was all a bunch of media hype and it goes away in 3 weeks, or if they're, having tens and hundreds of thousands of people dying, we don't know. We're going to find out. I also got to tell you, I do not understand, for the life of me, I don't understand the toilet paper thing. So I went to Sam's Club and I'm just going to get food like a normal person. I wasn't going to do all this prepping that people are doing. I was just going to get some food, and they literally are lines and lines of people, shopping cart lines, and there is not a toilet paper in sight, which is really a problem for just regular normal people who just need toilet paper, not trying to set up for the apocalypse, just actually want a roll of toilet paper. So it's interesting from what I've heard, and I've only been to Sam's, but from what I heard, it's everywhere. They're just out of toilet paper. I don't understand. I've been through all kinds of things before. Mostly out here we get hurricanes, and everybody goes crazy with milk and bread, which I never really understood either. But for this time, for whatever reason, and I don't get it at all, it's toilet paper. Everybody's crazy with toilet paper. I don't get it, but it is what it is. So anyway, what I wanted to talk to you guys about is going to be about real estate and how is this going to affect us. And what started me thinking this is just yesterday I text Stacy in my office. She does all of our collections. And I said, do you want to take a bet on who's going to be the first person to say, I can't pay my rent because of the coronavirus? And we have not had it yet. But usually when I text her something like that, it ends up being within a day or two, someone says it. And so we have not had it yet. However, I see it coming. And it's not necessarily going to be wrong on their part. There's so much economic impact from all these different things closing that a lot of it is going to trickle down to us as landlords. And it's going to be a problem. Now, I saw in Italy, where the first thing you think when someone says, well, I can't pay my rent, it's like, well, hey, I got a mortgage payment to make. So I'm sorry, business is business. And it is. And I'm not telling you not to be that way. But I remember I just saw a thing in Italy, the entire country, they're postponing all mortgage payments being due because of this. And I was like, wow, that's a different take on it. If your mortgage payment's not due, then you have the ability to say to the tenant, okay, we're going to wait. However, we're not necessarily in that position. And so I do feel that we will get a little bit of impact from that because we're going to have, there's going to be a lot of economic impact. Now, you think about like the NBA. Now, we don't have NBA in my area, but areas that do. How many people worked there at the stadium cleaning up? How many people worked there serving hot dogs and sodas? How many people worked as parking lot attendants? All these people that are no longer working now because of this. So that's going to trickle down. Those people have houses they live in, and now they don't have the money if they were living paycheck to paycheck. And so I just got an email. I'm getting emails constantly all day from every venue. Everybody that has my email address for the last 50 years is emailing me their coronavirus protocol. But I just got an email locally here that the zoo is closed. And I'm thinking, well, how many people work there? I think our shipyard here is closing, they say, for 3 weeks. Now, maybe if it's a union job, they're still going to collect their paycheck. But for most jobs, people aren't going to get any money. And what about restaurants? What about if you're a server and nobody's going out and now you're not getting your tips you were counting on? So it's an interesting situation. Whether it's real or not real is almost irrelevant. The economic impact is in fact going to be real. And so today is what are we at? Today is the 13th. So we still have 17 days till the new month. Pretty much everybody's paid for this month, but 17 days for the new month. And I would almost bet you guys, come the 1st of April, we're going to start getting those. I haven't been able to work, or my company shut down, or whatever it may have been. And again, whether the virus is real, whether it's not real, whether there's any need for 400 rolls of toilet paper, that's all beyond me. But what I will say is real is the economic impact is going to be very real. People are going to be calling and saying, we can't make our payments. So you have to make a decision there. And it's tough because we still have to make a payment. And so I've kind of already been thinking, generally, I'm very strict. It is what it is. But if it is a real situation, so we're trying to decide on how we're going to be able to work with people or what we're going to have to do, because we don't want to screw nobody over either. If their company really put them out of work and they can't work. And now the challenge comes in for a lot of you guys that have mortgages. If you still have to pay your mortgage, so the mortgage company, unless they come up with some kind of relief package, they're still expecting you to make the payment. So it depends on your situation that you're in with how strict you have to be with your people. I'm blessed to have a lot of my properties free and clear now, so I have the flexibility to be able to work with somebody if I had to. But in fact, that's going to be a situation. We have 17 days, and I promise you we're going to have people that cannot make their payments to us somehow trickle down from this coronavirus is going to trickle down to their jobs, their income, and they're not going to be able to make the payments to you. Something to start thinking about. Secondly, on the overall market in general. So right now, real estate interest rates are so low that the market is still on fire. However, people may start getting in their head, or what if the economy tanks? Is it a good time to buy? The rates are so low that you're almost a fool not to buy because the rates are so low. I don't think it's going to affect for the short term. And again, just my opinion, I don't think it's going to affect our renovated housing sales. I think they're going to stay on track, which is going to keep wholesalers and rehabbers still moving. However, should it stop, should interest rates go up, should something stop, don't freak out about it and don't think it's the end of the world or the end of this business. We've been through this several times before. It just means we pivot and we change. So our prices go deeper. I like to buy at 65% minus repairs. I know in some markets in the country, they're buying at 70, 75. I've even heard people talk about 80. In my market, we try and stay at 65, sometimes with a little bit of flexibility. If the market was to get bad, we maybe go deeper. Maybe we say we're doing 60% minus repairs. On our slow flips, I try and do 30,000 as a max. Well, we may be able to start buying them low. We're already buying them at $17,000 and $20,000. Maybe we start buying them at $10,000. So yes, there might be some bad parts of it, but there's also opportunity that comes with it. And so I want you to keep that in mind. If everything goes bad and everybody's like, oh, the real estate market's in the trash. Now, mind you, it's not. I'm saying if it was to go that way, it doesn't mean it's over or it's in the trash. It just means we pivot and we start doing things differently. We start buying at deeper pricing and we start buying our slow flips cheaper. Keep in mind one thing, though, the professional rehabbers, and I remember this during the 2006, 7, 8, the professional rehabbers, they're still going to be here. They're still going. This is what they do lifelong. They're still going to be here. They're still going to be buying. They're still going to be selling. What it's going to wash out is going to be the people that are dabbling, or the people that are slow and not doing it properly. The whole trick with rehabbing is you have to buy and sell in the same market. So as the market changes, you have to make sure that your rehab, you're selling in the same market you bought it in based on the same numbers of when you bought it. So nothing that's going to be soul crushing or life crushing, but I just wanted to address it because I'm getting a bunch of texts and emails about the coronavirus. And, and again, we don't know. Again, when all of Italy shut down, I was like, well, they obviously are taking it serious when they literally shut down the entire country. So you have to believe there's got to be some validity to everything that's going on because they're doing major moves. And again, when our NBA shut down and then baseball is delayed and now all sports, all concerts, everything is pretty much shut down. You got to go with, okay, well, somebody knows something. I'm not stocking up my house with toilet paper because I don't really understand the point. If I'm stuck home and I don't have toilet paper, that's the least of my worries. I want food. I want food. I don't know why. I don't know what the toilet paper craze is, because you have a shower at home. If you didn't have toilet paper, it's not going to kill you. But anyway, that's all I wanted to share with you guys right now. I want to see. I have a couple people that asked questions. I just wanted to see what they were. What about wholesaling? Will cash buyers still buy? Absolutely, cash buyers will still buy. I went through this during the bust. However, it'll be different cash buyers. So it'll typically be actual cash buyers. And what I mean by that is people who are using their own money, not people that are using hard money or bank loan money. So yes, they're still cash buyers, but it's going to be the professionals that are actually using their own money, not hard money or bank loan money, which is good. It's no problem. It helps to weed out the crowd. And as long as you build your buyers list, and that's why I'm always telling people, build it always, regardless whether you have a bunch of buyers, you need more buyers or not. Always build your buyers list, because you just never know when you're going to need more buyers. So this next one said, Pamela said, yes, very real. So I'm not sure if you're relating to the virus or the economic impact that we're going to have. However, both of them, yes, very real. We are going to be dealing with both of them. I'm telling you, April 1st, we're going to start getting people. I have 114 houses now, and I guarantee I'm going to start having some say, I couldn't make my payment because X. My business was shut down, or there was no customers, so I didn't get any tips, or whatever it may be. It's going to happen. So we just start prepping for it now. It's not going to be the end of the world. This is all going to move forward 2-3 months. Maybe it's 2-3 weeks. I don't know, but it's all going to move forward and life's going to go on. Morning, Scott. How you doing, Patrick? I think it's a great cornholio virus. They need the TP for their bungholes. Jay, I like the way you think. Hey, Scott, Derek from Chicago is wondering if private investors are going to hold on to their money now that the market is down and wouldn't want to invest. Actually, that's a great point, Derek. I actually think it's the opposite. What causes the market to go down, for those of you that don't understand the way the stock market works, what causes the market to go down is strictly supply and demand. That's it. That's all supply and demand. When more people want to buy than want to sell, it causes the price to go up. And when more people want to sell than want to buy, it causes the price to go down. So what you're saying in there, when more people want to hold on to their money now that the market's down, is actually the opposite. More people are pulling their money out of the market, which is what's causing it to go down. So now they have that money in cash. So it's a good time to find lenders, because now they just got smoked, and you can give them a secure return on their money, be it 10%, 15%, whatever it is you offer. Now is a good time because they just got smoked in the market and they already pulled the money out. Most of them did. That's what caused this sharp decline, is people sucking money out of the market. So now they have that money sitting them, earning them nothing. It's a great time for you to talk to them about lending. What was this next one? Jay. Oh, no, that was Patrick. All right, hang on. I'm getting too many up here. Mostly based in fear. Jay, you are absolutely correct. However, I agree with you 1,000%, mostly based in fear. The only reason I try not be strict in my saying it's all a bunch of bull, I feel that way, but I don't want to get into saying it because we just don't know. So I'd hate to be like, don't just ignore the media and don't bother getting any food and don't bother doing anything. It's all a sham, which I kind of feel like it is. However, if I'm wrong, I don't want to be, oh, Scott said, don't worry about it. Now here we are locked up in our house and all I have is a Twinkie. So I don't know. And so myself included, I feel like, well, I got to make preparations included. I got a wife and kid at home, so I don't really believe in it, but I'm still going to prepare just in case. So you're right. It is based on fear, but what else can we do? Let me see. Did I get this one? Can you make a show on slow flips, how you have to buy collect Rex and how he pays you, what he doesn't pay, the most occupant, how you take over Tim's? So that would be so you guys can read what he said there. That would be a different, yes, I can, but that we wouldn't discuss that on this today, because it wouldn't be relevant to what we're going over with today. But yes, I will definitely do that. That's a great idea. And then what was this last one? Just Derek said, nice, thank you. Okay, that was answering your last question up top. So that's all I have for you guys today. I just wanted to address it because I'm getting a bunch of text emails. What are my thoughts on the coronavirus? How's it going to affect the real estate market? How's it going to affect the economy? And in the end, I don't know. Nobody really knows. You got a bunch of talking heads on the news that like to keep telling you what may or may not happen. They're guessing as much as anybody. Why did they suspend mortgage? Will they suspend mortgage payments like in Italy? That's a great question, and I have no idea. And it's interesting because if they do, I can't imagine they would, but again, they may. Who knows? But if they do, it's interesting because I don't know how that affects. Most of my lenders are all private lenders, so I can't imagine a private lender would be bound by it. And then secondly, I have 47 of them are free and clear now. So although I don't have to make a payment, you still have that lost revenue. But it's interesting. I have no idea if they will suspend it. I've never heard of that ever happening before. I just read about it in Italy. So I have absolutely no idea. So this is the best time to buy property, Pam. So actually, I don't think it is yet because we don't really have any impact on the real estate market right now. My personal opinion is I'm still buying. I'm always buying. However, I believe that we will at some point have a slowdown or recession in the real estate market. Now, right now it's starting in the stock market. It may trickle down, but it may not because the interest rates are so low. So I don't believe that we are there yet or even heading there right now. However, if and when we do, absolutely, it's going to be a buyer's opportunity. And people are always like, what are you going to do when the market slows down? If you want to know the truth, I look forward to it. That's what a market slowdown is. It's a buyer's market and we're buyers. So don't be afraid of a buyer's market. Only thing is you have to understand that the market's changed and operate differently, but don't be afraid of it. There's nothing wrong with a buyer's market. We are so happy to investing our own money now. Glad it's not dependable as the stock market anymore. Absolutely. If you're in the stock market, you're basically in someone else's hands. And sometimes it has nothing to do with the business. It could be a corrupt CEO who got arrested for doing something and the stock plummets. And it has nothing to do with the business you invested in, but that's the way the stock market goes. And so, yeah, absolutely. Real estate investing, by far, no possible connection to anything else. By far the best. You are in absolute control. And let's say everything went down. You still have the house. You still have the house. Your stock market goes down to nothing. You get a thanks for playing. Glad you came and have a nice life. You're awesome. Appreciate you. Whoever said that, I don't see their name on there, but I appreciate you too. And thank you. And this is the last one. I'm in New York trying to pass a law to ban evictions during this time is ridiculous. Yeah. So I see what they're saying. He says in New York, they're trying to pass something to ban evictions. I hate any government interference. And the reason I say that, and people think, oh, it's because of me as an owner, I don't want the government interference. But really, the reality is it's bad for the tenants. They just passed a law, and this is the last thing I'm going to rant about, but they passed a law, and I think it was in Oregon. It was either in Oregon or Washington. I'm pretty sure it was Oregon, that they passed a law where you cannot evict somebody over the winter, right? So they're saying like the winter months, and Oregon's got a long winter, you cannot evict anybody over those months. They think they're doing the tenant a favor by passing this law, but the reality is, what a landlord's going to do? We need 6 months security deposit. Sorry, well, there's no evictions during those months, so if you don't pay, I need to know I'm secure, so we need 6 months security deposit. So now what does that do to the tenant? Well, I can't move. So how many more people, you ever been to Portland, or you see all the people living under the overpasses there? How many more people you think are going to end up there because the government intervened and tried to do them a favor, but they're doing it wrong? You can't work against the landlords. The landlords ultimately have to protect themselves. So if you tell me I can't evict for 6 months, that just means I need 6 months security deposit before anyone can move in. Everything they do when they think they're trying to help somebody, they end up screwing the people they're trying to help. Anyway, that's all I wanted to rant about on that today. I just wanted to address this because I know I'm getting texts and emails and everybody asking questions on it. Thank you guys for watching and or listening if you're just listening to this as the podcast. And I will talk to you guys shortly. By all means, you can still put comments on here even after it's off, and I will answer them for you. Obviously not on the video, but I'll respond to you if you had any more comments on it. And we're in for strap yourself in because we're in for a ride, and we'll see what happens. But we still got a few weeks left till the next month's payments are due. And let's business as usual. Let's go out there, buy some houses, and make stuff happen. Thank you for watching, guys, and I will see you shortly. And have a fantastic day.